Hi, I'm Sarah Forster, Deputy News Editor here at The National, and this is a closer look where we take a deeper dive into one of our stories from this week as we talk directly to the reporter. Now, we are reaching fever pitch when it comes to the World Cup 2022 in Qatar with only 2 games left to play. One team has had a notable and courageous journey throughout this tournament. That team is Morocco. Unfortunately, that journey was cut short on Wednesday night by former title holders France. Let's take a look at how fans around the world reacted to the outcome. I'm joined in the studio now by our journalist, Tim Knowles. Thank you for joining me, Tim. Now, we all know that unfortunately Morocco's courageous journey through the World Cup 2022 has come to an end. But let's talk a bit more about how they got there. Tim, what did it take for this team to get so far through this tournament?
Well, really, a really good defence. So no one really knew what to expect from Morocco. They had some talented players, but when they first started in the group, it was a tough group. They drew with Croatia, which was a good result. But the real shock came in the second game when they beat Belgium 2-0, which was a big surprise because Belgium are a very good team with some very good players. So that was kind of the first giant killing, as it were. And then they had a relatively straightforward game against Canada, which they won 2-1, and they ended up winning the group, which was a real surprise. But they didn't get any easier because they had Spain to play in the next round, and Spain were one of the favourites before the tournament started. And again, defence, they drew 0-0 and then won on penalties, thanks to some very bad penalties from Spain, I'll add. But yeah, so that was very impressive. But still, no one really thought that they would go any further. They were playing Portugal, another very fancy team. They got Cristiano Ronaldo, lots of really good players in the round after that, and they beat them in 90 minutes, 1-0, which is kind of a classic defence-first result, but they still won. So then people started to believe a little bit more, I think, at that point, and could think they could go even further, even though playing France, again, they thought they weren't going to win, and unfortunately they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know many football phrases, but one I do know is park the bus, which is where you park the bus in front of the goal, isn't it? And basically you don't let any goals in. And that worked quite well for Morocco. Now, it worked well for another team, didn't it, back in 2004?
Yeah, so there's similarities to the Greece team that won Euro 2004 in that they were very much a defence-first, park-the-bus kind of team. Didn't really have any superstars, which actually Morocco kind of do have a few household names. Well, not necessarily household names, but people who like football know who these people are. But Greece were the same. They had really strong defence and then just a big man up front who just was able to get the ball in the goal maybe once a game, and that was enough to see them through. I mean, that was a real shock. No one was expecting Greece to win that. So I think people who knew that had happened had kind of faint hopes for Morocco as well.
See, it does work, basically. It can get you through to that top spot, but unfortunately for Morocco, it didn't. Did you think they had a chance to beat France?
Yeah, I did. I really did. I mean, when it comes to knockout, it's 50-50, really. I mean, yeah, on paper, France are a much stronger team. They've got Mbappe for a start, and he's incredible. Can win a game from nothing. But yeah, there was a really good chance because they do have talented players. But the problem is that, you know, when you've got a game built on defence, you can't concede. And they conceded within 5 minutes. So already it was an uphill struggle for them. But I think they showed everyone that they can still attack. They do have some talented attackers. Hakim Ziyech, for example, who plays for Chelsea. He's a very talented player. And they did actually have a few good chances to score. They just forgot to shoot. They had got into so many positions where they could score, but they just didn't shoot. I was actually screaming at the TV, shoot! But they just didn't do it. So.
I remember that's probably going to be the team talk in the dressing room afterwards. It's going to be, guys, remember, you have to shoot,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
you need to put the ball in the net.
Well, thank you for joining me. We're now going to cross to Ali Al Shouk, our intrepid reporter that we have sent to Doha to cover the last few thrilling games in the tournament. Ali, so can you tell me a little bit, first of all, about what it was like before the game? I imagine you spoke to quite a few Moroccan fans. They've all been saying that they were really hopeful, that if they've gotten anything from this tournament, that it was hope. Is that what you were getting as well?
Well, hi, Sarah and Tim. I'm right here now in Doha. Yesterday, it was like hilarious. A lot of Moroccan fans went to the stadium, actually with the hope to get the last minute ticket. Like, I think thousands, they went inside, but also thousands were waiting outside, watching in the big screens. And the whole atmosphere was like historic, because then they start cheering. And then when the France scored the first goal, everybody was quiet for a bit, and then they start cheering again. And then they were just like interacting with every dangerous chance. As Tim said, like everybody was saying, please shoot, shoot. And that's like, the fans were just like went crazy. But with the second goal, then they felt that khalas, they lost by the world champion. But what surprised me, like the high spirit they had. Everybody was like cheering with joy, because it's like history been made by Morocco for reaching this far in the tournament. And they just like felt really proud after the match. And they are keen now for the third place.
Yes, I mean, there is absolutely no shame in going out to the previous winners, right? I mean, if anything, this has been almost a fairy tale journey for Morocco, who, if you take into account, okay, they probably won't win the whole thing, but to get this far and then go out to the title holders, I think is really very admirable. And it sounds like the Morocco fans are happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, since I came for the quarterfinal or the semi-final matches, I mean, I've seen a lot of Moroccan fans everywhere in Souk Waqif, in Doha, in Qatar area. But recently, I saw a lot of Moroccan coming with their bags, with their trolleys. They're coming directly from the airport to Souk Waqif. And yesterday, actually, I saw Moroccan fans with their suitcase from the airport to Al Bayt Stadium, which was like, those people, they really like football and they really love football. And they didn't expect at the beginning that Morocco will reach that point, that far. And then people start coming from everywhere in the world, from Europe, from Morocco, and a lot of Arab fans also, from Saudi Arabia, from Oman, from UAE. They came here to support Morocco. Everybody saying Morocco representing the Arabs, Morocco representing the African nations. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, so we spoke a little bit earlier about how this is, you know, the first African team to get so far through the tournament, and the first, you know, Arabic-speaking nation to get this far. And it kind of means that so many other nationalities all rallied around them to create this incredible wave of support. I mean, I think that we were talking earlier, weren't we? If France was in the final with, say, the USA, I don't think you would find every European team rooting for France. It's, you know, it just doesn't work like that, does it? But there's obviously this incredible camaraderie that meant that Morocco definitely had the support, but unfortunately, they just didn't take those shots, did they?
Yes, that's it. And by the way, a lot of people here, like the majority of fans are Argentinians and obviously Moroccan. Before, like, it was majority Saudi fans and Mexican also fans. But with the French fans, I mean, just like a couple of thousands, they showed up yesterday. I hope in the final match, more French people will come to support their national team. But the majority were Argentinians and Moroccan fans.
Yes, I remember, because Ali's there for the last few games. I remember I was over there for the first few games. And obviously, during the first few days of the tournament, it's the group stages, there's games every day. The atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. Ali, what's it like there now that, I mean, there's not another game until Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday when the third place match, I mean, a lot of Moroccans also, they're going to attend this match, the third place, and which is really important for them. They said if we couldn't get the first or second, we should get the third place. So on Saturday, and definitely on the final day, the streets will be buzzing with people.
That's right. Third place still gets a medal normally, doesn't it? Right. Well, thank you so much, Ali, for joining us there in Doha. Enjoy the rest of your time there. We're having a little bit of a lull now before the big final matches. Of course, Morocco has one more game to play, as Ali said, to determine who comes in third and fourth. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for joining me, Tim. Thank you, Ali, in Doha. And make sure you stay tuned for next week's A Closer Look.